Hello and welcome, dear viewers. This is our weekly edition, ATV Special, and I am Zalalem Ibeltal, producer of the program. In today's ATV Special program, I'm going to explore and investigate Amhara Police Commission. The Commissioner is with me here in the studio. Mr. Commissioner, welcome to ATV Studio, and big thanks for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
The main task of Amhara Police Commission is to maintain peace and security in Amhara region. Ensuring the rule of law is also the other key responsibility and mandate of this commission. So the failure of peace and security in Amhara region is ultimately the failure of Amhara Police Commission, and the reverse is also true. So how do you evaluate the state of peace and security in your locality, in your community, and in the greater Amhara region? So dear viewers, ask this question to yourself. Do you feel secure? So in my brief interview with Mr. Commissioner, I'm going to raise some of the toughest questions with regards to peace, security, and rule of law in Amhara region. Mr. Commissioner, I'm coming to you. So recently, Amhara region has celebrated or conducted a kind of peace festival, right?
Yes. And
the aim of which was to appreciate, to recognize those people who contributed for bringing peace and security in the region. So I think the idea is appreciated. But do you think Amhara region is that much peace and secure right now?
thank you for this very nice question. And as you explained, that the government must work hard to secure the peace and stability of the people. And to do that, there should be institutions who are responsible to carry that security issue. And one of the front institutions is a police force with other security institutions. And within the police force, it's almost now 1 year and 6 months since I was there. Even I'm there still.
Yeah.
We studied a lot of issues, how to bring peace and stability in Amhara region. And the first task was to see the structure and the culture of that institution. It was very, very, very difficult when I came to that position to secure peace and in the region. But we planned to make reform. That reform was critical for that institution.
Yeah,
and we did
Mr.
that.
Commissioner,
reform.
sorry for interrupting you. I will come to those questions bit by bit. But tell me the state of peace and security in Amhara region. Do you feel the people of Amhara are secure in their region right now?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're working hard. We did that our job, and now we're delivering that, and we're working with different government institutions, with the people, above all with elders. And we coordinated all our security forces to work together, to come together. And we identified the problems, and then we're protecting our people. And our people and the guests who are coming to our region can feel safe and secure.
Okay. I could agree with you to the point that Amhara region is now peace and secure in comparison with the previous years. But we can witness that there are lots of crimes in different parts of the region. Really, the security of the people is threatened by criminals, gang groups. Do you think you tackled those problems?
Yes, we discussed, before the change and after the change, there are different situations, situations. You cannot do the things that you were doing before the change. Those were just, they did that job, and now we are in the change, and we have to work together. There are a number of groups, informal groups, formal groups, elders, youths, that with different interests. So the security force, we discussed with them, and we convinced them to come together, to work together. Now, otherwise, it will be very difficult. If one thinks something else and the other thinks something else. Now, after all, we have one people, we have one region, and there is a change now. A change is a process, and we have to carry that process together to achieve or to deliver the development of the people and the peace and security of our region. The achievement is what to establish a system, a security system that can carry the responsibility. If you don't have a system, you cannot control the criminals. Criminals are everywhere, and you have to have that system. to control and to defend our people. We established such system, and there are people, there are our forces everywhere in the region, and we are connected. Therefore, if there is something somewhere, I can hear now, just right now, and then I can give a command, and there are other commanders who are working on that. So the first thing that we have to know is there is a system.
Ethiopia as a country is in the reform process. What kind of reforms you have done in your area, and what results you have gained due to those reforms?
Yeah, the reform that we did to bring the professionals. You know, security is a profession by itself, and it should have a professional leaders. And to bring those professional leaders to the point, to the job that they can do, you have to have a reform. And to do that reform, you have to study the structure. The structure we were having before, were not able to carry the responsibility that we have now. Now we did that reform, and we restructured the institution, and we brought all those educated police officers to the place where they can deliver, they can achieve something good, they can make difference. And we did that. That was challenging. One of the toughest things that I did as a police commissioner was to make that reform. When you talk about reform, you know, there are people who are against the reform, who resist that reform because they think that that reform may displace them.
Yeah.
And first you have to convince them. You know, everyone has something good to deliver. The problem is how can we understand our good point to deliver something for our society. And then it was taking time to convince those people. If they're convinced, that's fine. If they're not convinced, but the reform must continue by hook or crook. So we did that, and then people came, leaders came up now. We have a number of leaders in the police force now who can be a commissioner, who can be a vice commissioner, and who can carry what responsibility the government can give them. So we did that. And then to do that also, we were forced to produce documents, guidelines that we can use as a tool. To make a reform, you have to understand the reform. And to understand that reform, we were forced to produce those guidelines. And we used those guidelines as a tool, and we did that reform, that structure. And after that, we have to put people in the right place. And we did that. And then come to the work, the real job. Now we are on that issue, and that is why this peace and stability came. It's not just magical. We did a lot, but we thank God. God helped us, and the Amhara government helped us. But we did a lot. We achieved a lot, and now we are there, where we are now, as you can or as our people can witness. The reform I am talking is just a single institution reform. That is the police commission reform.
Yeah.
The reform should be systematic. The system that the government as a whole, you know, the police is just one sector. As usually they call it the security force. It's called arm, the arm of the government. It's called the arm of the government. It's just only, I'm talking about the arm of the government. And the reform must take place within different sectors, within a government. And when you do the same reform with the same vision and the same goal of a nation, and then those institutions come together and deliver what the people want to have. If just only one institution that is doing that reform, it will be very difficult to achieve what you raised. Now there are a number of claims, economic problems, political problems, social problems are there on the ground. And where these economic institutions, social institutions, political institutions must work hard and must do that the same reform as the police did in Amhara region. And then we can come together, we can converge and come together to deliver the whole needs and wants of our society. And then you can talk about human rights, you can talk about political rights, economic rights, unemployment issues. Those things cannot be achieved by the police. The police can protect those. Those economic institutions, political institutions, social institutions, to do their job, we are there to protect them. Otherwise, to bring a change, to satisfy our society will be very, very, very difficult. So when we talk about reform, we have to understand which reform, who can do that reform, what are those reforms. So we have to understand that. We have to talk about the system, the whole system, not about organ. It's one organ. The police institution is just one of the organs of the government. It's not a system. It is an organ. The system is the government. The entire government institutions, the entire government organs must make that reform. What's the difference between the time before the change and after the change? Every institution must investigate. Is this the same thing, the same document, the same people are using there, sitting there, or is there difference? Is everyone, every leader is making a change, making a difference in the institution they are heading? They have to ask that from the president to the local, to the Kabale in our language. So the reform is, I understand the reform in such a way.
Yeah. Mr. Commissioner, you have elaborated the reform process interestingly very well, and thank you for your elaboration. What is the relationship between the people and the police right now? Because the violation of human democratic rights of citizens by the police was one of the criticism raised on the previous government of Ethiopia. So what is the relationship between the people and the police right now after the reform? Interesting question.
Thank you for bringing that question. There are people who are witnessing. There are people calling me and say thank you, especially within the Bahardar city, Gondar city, and the other cities also. They are very, very, very nice, and they are even willing to work with the people. So within the police, and between the police and the public, there is a good relationship now. But as I said, it's not complete. To make it complete, we have to work together. Even medias, such as Amhara Mass Media Agency, we have to work together. Yeah. Because we have one goal. I think so.
Yeah, Mr. Commissioner, we can witness the relationship between the police and the public is largely improved after the reform. We can witness. Because in the prior days, the police was labeled by the public as someone who violates or depraves their rights. But after the reform or nowadays, there is a tendency by the public to observe the police force as keeper of their right. Yeah. And I think this is a big change. But one criticism is raised here. Criminals are left untouched because the police is compromising the rule of law. And do you agree with this?
No, I don't agree. We don't compromise that. You know, the problem is there is a misunderstanding between our society and the police task. The police task is just to prevent crime. If one's crime is committed, we have to investigate, and we have to take them to the attorney generals and to the court. Yeah. You see the problem now. There is a problem there also. I cannot say a number of things about that issue also. Yeah. Justice system, as I told you before, a justice system must have the same reform as we in the police commission did. But there is a problem there. If the police investigates and organize files and gives that file to the court, it's not the police job, it is the court's job. But there is still there. Yeah. But people, as I said, people just point to the police. Everything to the police. Yeah. That is a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
That is totally misunderstanding. The police, the task of the police force is clear: to protect, and if crime is committed, to investigate, and to organize files, and to give the court. The due process will take place in the court. It's not in the police force. In the meantime, the criminals are out of there with the bail. It's a new reform, and with a new structure, and we have to adapt to that. Yeah. And we have also lack of police officers, especially in the areas of the Bahardar city and Gondar city. Yeah. Now we are giving them trainings and to increase the number of police officers. And above all, we are working with civil society to teach those people who are committing crime not to be criminals. And we are giving advice to the government to create jobs, because unemployment is one of the causes of the crimes, especially the ordinary crimes. And then we are doing that. We are working on that. You know, we are working not only as a police institution, we are working also as a strategist, economic advisor, political advisor too. We are giving them every day. different documents and advices too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, development and security are connected. They are interrelated.
Yeah, yeah.
They go together.
They are inseparable.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. You have raised some interesting points, Mr. Commissioner. So how the other sectors should work with the police commission so as to bring about the desired development in democracy?
They have to make the reform. We cannot just continue the way we were before the change.
Exactly.
We have to have a difference. And that's the problem I can see within different sectors. This is the same music, the same drum they're just playing. We have to change that game now. It's a different era.
Yeah.
We have to satisfy our people. We have to serve our people. We have to bring our people to understand us, and we have to teach our people too. Yeah, so that's why what I recommend.
Yeah.
And I know it's not easy to make a reform is not easy. I know, but we don't have option. We have to do it. We have to pay the price, and everyone should pay that price from himself or from herself. Otherwise, just sitting on the chair and counting days is meaningless for me, and that will never bring change for our people.
Let's talk about the relationship between Amhara region and other region, because the thing is interdependent, I think, because the problem of Amhara region is going to be the problem of Tigrayans, the problem of Oromo, it's going to be the problem of Amhara. And with this concept in your mind, do you think that Amhara region is safe for other nations and nationalities of Ethiopia?
Definitely.
Definitely.
The other people who live here in Amhara region can feel safe and secure. They can feel that they are in their own home. Amhara region is the home of different cultures, the home of humans. We believe that the earth is our planet and our planet is our common place. And that concept, that hospitality is within Amhara people's heart. Yeah. So everyone, whether Tigray, whether Oromo, whether Gurage, or even Europeans and Americans and Latins, they can come and live here in Amhara region. And they will be treated as human beings, not just as different groups. We treat people as a human being. We stand for humans. We stand for people. We stand for peace and for human rights. We don't have that kind of mentality, even to begin with, from our nature, from our mothers and forefathers. We were taught to be accommodative and to be welcoming. And we are doing that. At the police institution, we are doing that. And we are protecting all it. So everyone can feel safe and can come as a tourist, can come as an investor. For that, I can give you a guarantee.
Sure. So I said it's interdependent because the problem of Amhara is going to be the problem of other regions. And in the same token, the problem of other region is going to be the headache of Amhara region.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I have to say something about that.
Sure.
Now, our problem is not within the Amhara region. Within the Amhara region,
I was coming to that question.
we are confident to do that. But with some other regions, we have that problem.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for the last almost 28 or 27 years, Ethiopia was divided and ruled by a single minority group. And that single minority group, which is called TPLF, created that division, a kind of segregation. And those regions were neighboring Amhara region, they have that problem. And our people in different regions have a problem, Amhara people. For example, if you take Benishangul, if you take Oromia, there are problems. But still, the politicians are discussing. The good news is now, after the change, and after this PP, Prosperity Party, now they are coming together. I like that. They started thinking as a nation. As a nation. Amhara can live everywhere. Amhara can be a member of PP, or a Prosperity Party, to practice his or her political right. And then from that, there will be representation. And that representation will solve those problems. Otherwise, as you said, there are problems in Benishangul, in Oromia, and that problem impacts Amhara region. Where there is a problem in Benishangul, the Amhara youth here, they just want to come and demonstrate. And that is the problem of the police.
The headache of the region.
Exactly. Though we are just trying to convince our people, just give us time. We're dealing. And the president, Ato Tamasgen, is discussing with the president of Benishangul, the president of Oromia.
Yeah.
And now they're coming to consensus how to work together, and even up to how to deploy a force together.
Yeah.
Because we have to protect our people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be very dangerous for all regions. So that's the problem. Yeah, you are right. The question is right, and it needs political solution, not only a security solution.
Yeah, it's sad to hear the news of native Amharas being killed, displaced, and unsafe. I know it's not your legal jurisdiction, but how do you approach as a police commission?
I'm discussing with the police commissioners there.
Yeah.
In Oromia region especially, we call each other, we discuss, we were trying to work together. And in Benishangul region is the same, in Afar region is the same. With Afar and with Benishangul and Oromia, police commissioners, I always discuss with them to work together and to secure the people who are there. They have a right to live there. It is a land of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
It's not a foreign land.
Yeah.
They have right to go, they have right to invest, they have right to live. They have right to own property wherever they are. And we are just trying to do that. But it was politicized.
Yeah.
This, tribal politics is very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have to understand that. That is why I said it needs political solution.
Yeah.
It needs constitutional solution.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, if you go to Benishangul, you are not a citizen. That particular
the
area
land
was
belongs
given for
to
some
that nation.
tribes, for some tribes there.
Yeah.
If you are Amhara, if you are Tigray, if you are Oromo, you are not citizen there.
You are not allowed to claim
that's a crime. To deny my citizenship, to deny your citizenship, a crime against humans, against citizens. That's a violation of human rights. That's a violation of citizens' rights. So that we have to understand that, and we have to change. We have to work for that change, and it should be done as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And people are asking me now, for example, we have to go to Matakal.
Yeah.
Our people are just butchered there. Why? Then we are just wait. Just give us time, because we don't see the massacre.
Yeah.
Whomever he is, they have to live peacefully. But the people are coming with such questions.
Yeah.
And you cannot just say always the same language. No.
Yeah.
We have to do something to make that difference, to make that change.
Yeah, it's great to advise your people that way, because
we're
the mechanism that you follow to solve the problem might aggravate another problem, I think. Yeah. So, Mr. Commissioner, I have finished my questions to you. You have something to say, to display to the public?
Yes, thank you. The first and foremost, I want to pass my message to the youth, to the Amhara youth. Okay. The first, to understand the world. The second, to understand the Ethiopian politics. And then to understand the Amhara situation. For me, the region of Amhara is Ethiopia. It's not just only this particular region, even it is not a defined region. We don't have a defined region now. My region is Ethiopia. So we have to work for Amhara people, and we have to work for Ethiopia as a citizen. And we have to work with other users, with Oromos, with this Benishangul use, with Tigrayan use, with Afar use, and we have to work together within ourselves. Our internal unity is very critical and very important, and we have to work on that. And also the government leaders, the government institutions, they have to check their institutions. If they are really committed to bring change, if they want to see something good for their future, for their children, they have to make a reform within their institutions. Just don't look at all the police. No, everyone should be a police for his right, for his economic right, for his political right, and for his social right. That is the message I have.
Yeah, I do hope so that we have made a very meaningful interview. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your dedication, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you so much.
Dear viewers, let us close today's program here. Many thanks for watching. See you then.